All right, what's up, Gamecocks and recruiting fans? Wes Mitchell back here on the Gamecock Central YouTube page. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube page. We just hit 3,000 subscribers here and only want to see that number go up. So appreciate the support. Please go ahead and subscribe. It is free, of course. Apologize in advance for the sun shining in over my head here. I can't block it. It's like at the perfect angle right now as I'm recording. But here in my office, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video out of the way. Today we're talking about Keon Coleman, wide receiver from Louisiana. I've teased that we were going to do a video with on Keon, actually I believe last week, and we just hadn't quite gotten around to it. So I wanted to go ahead and get this one knocked out here today. As you can see, 6'4", 188-pound wide receiver from Louisiana, and a guy that South Carolina has really, I would say, targeted and prioritized, especially with Joe Cox taking over the wide receiver room. Has I believe developed a good relationship there, but someone that the Gamecocks really want, and probably right now you look at the number 72 wide receiver in the country on Rivals, number 12 player in the state of Louisiana, and a 5.7 3-star, which is the highest of the 3 stars. Frankly, a guy that I think if there were camps going on and they weren't canceled by COVID, probably is easily a 4-star guy just based on the film. And I'm going to show you why. Real quick, first of all, the top group for Keon Coleman, this is from May 17th, so really fairly recently he put out his top 6. You'll see here on Twitter. Michigan State, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Kansas, Oklahoma. Kind of a different mix there. Kind of a, sometimes you see guys maybe focusing all on schools within a region or mostly with schools within a certain conference. But, very interesting mix there with Michigan State and Kansas being in there, also with South Carolina, Mississippi State, 2 SEC schools. Oklahoma obviously is recruited very well offensively, just for as long as I can remember these days. And then Florida State in there as well. So, all right, let's get to the film. Of course, as always, brought to you by Hudl. We pull all the film from Hudl, and those guys do a great job, obviously, of being your sort of one-stop source for all recruiting highlights these days. So, all right, as you see, a big play guy is Keon Coleman. That's the first thing right off the bat here. 42 targets, 35 catches, 22 touchdowns, over 1,200 yards. So what that tells us is that he is making the most of his opportunities. Just 7 targets that weren't caught by him, and to get the efficiency of getting 22 touchdowns in just 42 targets and 35 catches is really pretty just incredible. Again, a 6'4", 188-pound kid, as you're going to see here. Also very involved in the return game. Here he is returning a kickoff, and kind of one of those long stride type kids. Like I said, the big frame, 6'4", but he's fast too. I mean, this is an athletic kid. Some of the bigger, rangy, longer receivers maybe aren't as athletic, but in case of Keon, very athletic kid. Here you see him getting open down the field, and they use him as sort of a deep ball threat a lot of times, as you're going to see from this film, and a really good defensive back as well. He plays cornerback, as you saw in the open, 7 interceptions, and someone I honestly believe probably could play defensive back at the next level as well. And just I would say ball skills again. We talked about Malachi Bennett recently and his just natural ball skills, and I think you see that with Keon Coleman as well. A lot of these plays are down the field. A lot of these plays are contested, and he just makes highlight reel catches where he's able to adjust his body. And I think just the dexterity and just sort of ability to control his body in space is sort of off the charts, and that's something that stands out about him. And I think if you're going to compare him to a South Carolina receiver just in recent memory, there is an element of Brian Edwards. If you look at the size, the speed, I always thought Brian was probably a bit faster than he was given credit for. And I think Keon Coleman is a fast kid, who makes the highlight reel grab, which, as we know, Brian Edwards was always known for the highlight reel catch, but also being able to make plays after the catch. You look back throughout Brian's career in high school, and then, of course, even in college, he was a punt returner for South Carolina the last couple of years. You don't generally see your 6'4" or 6'3" guys taking on that role, but Brian Edwards was able to do that for South Carolina, was able to do a lot of this stuff you see here where you just get a kid the ball in space, and he's gonna outrun most of the defenses he sees in high school, even though he is a taller, bigger wide receiver. And I think you can see it. This is a 3-sport athlete, and I think you always put a little bit of extra value on guys that are successful at multiple sports. Keon Coleman, very successful, obviously in football, but he's a basketball player. He's a track and field guy, and here you see great ability to run under the football there, great adjustment to where the ball was thrown. That's not an easy catch looking over your shoulder, even though he made it appear easy. Here you see some strength. I think balance is a big thing with Keon, just balance in the open field, just breaking tackles and making plays, as you see there. I think it appears, just made getting him leaps a defender there. They just made getting him the football a priority, as you see, and as you should. Here's another. Actually, I don't know. That circle was on the defender, but this is him playing offense and just takes the ball away from the defender. I don't know what happened there. That was very impressive, and a little easy, quick out here, using his body to sort of box out the defender there. I think this is him playing defense again. And yeah, I don't know why you're throwing to that side of the field. And he's going to have a pick six here. Shows off the vision and the speed again. And just was again, 7 interceptions, 35 receptions, 22 touchdowns. Just very, here you see another jump ball, go up and get it. And I don't know what defense some of these teams are playing, leaving him one-on-one out there on some of these plays, but I would suggest putting an extra defender against Keon Coleman here. And again, why are you picking on him? Throw to the other side of the field at this point. Here again, one-on-one coverage. I don't know what this is. There's no safety in the middle of the field, no safety over the top on Coleman's side, and this is, find some daylight, hit the post route, and pay dirt there. Easy stuff there, pitch and catch for a guy like Keon Coleman. He lines up on the outside. I think that's where he is as a college receiver as well. He's an outside guy. Most of the time, if you're 6'4", 6'5", that's where you're going to end up. And, at the high school level, could he maybe do some of the different slot stuff? Yeah, we saw him on a jet sweep at one point. Good adjustment here, great adjustment to the ball. Waits to the last second, doesn't allow the DB to sort of adjust along with him by waiting to the last second. He adjusts to the ball, contorts his body, and makes the catch. And I think, we can keep it rolling, but I think you get a pretty good feel for what type of player Keon Coleman is. Here you're going to see a little bit of speed again, some toughness at the end, and gets to pay dirt again. This is, if you have 22 touchdowns in a season, then from the wide receiver position, then most of your highlights are going to be you scoring touchdowns, and that's what you have here with Keon Coleman, is just lots of touchdowns. Let's see, fake the jet sweep to him, then get him the ball in the little wheel route. I like that. Find a way to get your playmaker the ball, and he's the best player on the field from what I can tell in a lot of these clips. So, all right, that's going to do it, I guess, for Keon Coleman. Again, a 5.7 3-star for Rivals.com. We'll give him we'll stamp him with the Gamecock Central 4-star. A 5.8 4-star is our, just based on film, is our rating we'll throw on Keon Coleman here today. For more from Gamecock Central, please check out GamecockCentral.com. And, of course, please hit the subscribe button for more daily content on the Gamecock Central YouTube. I'm Wes Mitchell. We'll see you next time.